Hello, everyone. Welcome to our very first Random Chats of Kindness. I am super excited to have all of you guys here. As people come trickling in, we're gonna keep moving. But thank you so much for supporting Random Acts General Fund through this fundraiser. It has been so exciting watching you guys, everyone engage and retweet our posts and support us all. It's been really great to see all of that, and everyone has been amazing. Seriously amazing. So my name is Maddie. I am the Creative Department Executive Assistant here at Random Acts, and I will be your moderator for today's event. I joined Random Acts in April of this year because I wanted to be a part of something that was doing good in the world, and this has been beyond my wildest expectations. It has been an absolutely amazing experience, and I am so excited to get to be here with you guys and everyone and just keep it going. So we're going to go ahead and get started, get to the fun part. But before we do, I want to quickly go over a couple of rules. We did put these out in the email that we sent out to everyone. So you should have gotten those a couple of days ago or today, and we're just going to go over them really quickly. We want to make sure that this event is as smooth as possible and that there is absolutely no issues, anything like that. So the first rule is that there is absolutely no hate speech allowed. Any sort of hate speech that discriminates against anyone's race, sexuality, gender expression, or religious beliefs will result in your removal from the event and from future events at Random Acts. Second one is there is no harassment or threats. Again, this will result in your immediate removal and removal from future Random Acts events. There's going to be no NSFW content or discussion. Any discussion around sex, drugs, or violence that promotes unsafe behavior, again, will result in your removal from this event. And the last thing is just to keep this chat going smoothly, keep it running. There's going to be no spamming. If you are spamming in the chat, you will be removed. You will be allowed back into future events. But again, if there is any spamming, you will be removed from this event. That's all. We're just trying to keep it a safe and fun environment. Everything else, feel free to type away all of that. Before we do get started, I am going to encourage all of you to change your display names to your preferred name and pronouns if you are comfortable doing so. That way, if you get promoted to speak, we'll be able to address you and, call you by your favorite nickname, whatever it is you want to go by. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get to the fun part. I have the absolute honor of introducing our Random Chats of Kindness host, Rachel Miner. I'm sure all of you know her as our unicorn of joy and kindness. And over around here, she's known as our executive director, which is something that she is absolutely crushing it. And I cannot be more excited to have her come on and speak to you. So thank you for joining us, Rachel.
That was very smart of you to have me not on screen so I didn't blush and squirm. Like you said nice things. But I'm so excited to see you all. Hello all. Good morning or afternoon or whatever time it is for whatever time zone you're in. Thank you so much for joining, especially those of you that had to wake up super early. I hope we start out your weekend right, and let's all just support each other as best as possible and spread some good in the world. And thank you for everything, all the support you've been giving. It's been really exciting to watch this fundraiser. And I know the whole team is super jazzed about doing this. And I hope it's a success and that we can keep doing in the future and have time to connect. I think it's so important in these days. You all need a little uplift. I know, for me, sometimes the days are hard, and it will be really nice to connect and just talk about the fact that there's good in the world, because there is, and we need to remind each other of that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. See everyone in the chat below. See everyone getting super excited. Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and start getting into our conversations here. We want to make sure that we do have enough time to get to as many people as we possibly can, but I am just warning you guys in advance that we aren't going to be able to get to everyone as much as we would like to be. So in advance, if we do not get to you, please feel free to share your kindness stories on social media, tag us in them. We will retweet as many of them as we possibly can. It'll be super fun and amazing to hear all of your stories, both here and on social media. So please don't hesitate to share. So
and let's keep doing this. So let's just keep this conversation going.
Yes, couple of things before we go ahead and get started. Some of you guys may have noticed that we do have a Q&A feature enabled down at the bottom of your Zoom bar here. That Q&A feature, we are going to keep open until the end. We are going to try and we're going to set aside time at the end. We're going to answer some of those questions. Again, we're not going to be able to get to all of them as much as we wish that we could, but if you have any questions that you want Rachel to answer, go ahead and drop those in the Q&A and we'll get to those closer to the end. For those of you who are looking to speak, there is a reaction button at the end here, and then you guys can just go ahead and raise your hand. You'll join a queue of people who have raised their hands to be able to speak, and our promoter will promote you into a panelist so that you guys can come in, everyone can come in and talk, all of that. If you have any questions, go ahead and about the process, you can leave those in the chat too. We have a couple of chat moderators who are looking and can answer your questions if you need help with the process of raising your hand and all of that, but it is under that reactions button at the bottom of your screen. So with that being said, go ahead and raise your hand if you would like to speak. We'll get our first person promoted. We're going to try and answer as many questions in the chat as possible from the chat moderators. So if you have any questions about Random Acts, about our ACTS program, about anything like that, go ahead and you can leave those in the regular chat and our chat moderators will send you the relevant links. But any questions that you specifically would want Rachel to answer, just leave those in the Q&A and we can get to those. So go ahead and raise your hands if you're looking to join. Who's going to be our first person here? We'll see.
And just so everyone, you should feel comfortable talking about or connecting however you want. Now, the idea we had was to really center on the work that we're doing and you all are doing to bring kindness to the world. And there are some great exercises that we do as a staff that you all can do too, of just try to think of people in your life, either people you know well or people that you passed by or seen that you feel like your heart was pulled to actually really help them and you think could really benefit from an act of kindness. I think there are probably hundreds of people we all see every day, but try to think those people that it really inspires you of like, oh, wow, I'd like to see that person lifted up or, have something in their day that keeps them going. And that's a good place to start, of just like a good conversation to start with and ways that we can find to spread kindness in the world.
Yeah. There we go. Looks like we have Steph up first. So my promoter, would you allow her to come up here and speak to us?
Hi.
Hello.
This is so exciting. My heart's pounding out of my chest right now. Okay.
It's good to see you.
It's so nice to meet you guys. This is extremely exciting. I love that you're doing this. So I was actually off of social media for about 3 years, which actually makes me kind of sad because I missed a lot of the stuff that you guys were doing over the years. I do work with patients on dialysis. So every day I feel like I'm helping and it feels really, really good. And they're so sweet. What kind of things do you guys do? I mean, I need some ideas of what to do for the community. I've always wanted to help, but I just feel like I don't know exactly what I should be doing. So what kind of things would you guys suggest?
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank you because it was such a wonderful way to start, just your smile and you lighting up everything. And thank you for like sharing that. It really lifted me up. So anyway, and then I just want to say as well, I think that's a position a lot of people are in. It's not just you. I'm just like, I want to do good in the world, but I don't even know where to begin. So we're trying to actually find ways to help like look within like maybe narrow parameters, because it can be so overwhelming. As I said, there are so many ways you can do acts of kindness or whatever. We're putting it, we'll keep putting out more and more blogs of things people have done. If you think of like, I guess just keep narrowing down. If you want to do, say, something for one of the patients that you work with, you can think really simply of like, just what are things that give them joy. I always listen for things in conversations of like, what are people looking for? What are, and there's so much that so many people need. So you could submit an act based on that. I feel like I'm giving horrible advice. But we give we give really comprehensive things. We can fund so many acts of kindness. There's so many different ways you can get involved. But like with your patients, are there things like people who are coming in who are also maybe struggling financially? Because right now the healthcare system is so difficult for so many of us. Maybe having the food provided, or maybe some of them need a little help with groceries, or maybe some of the, I don't know what, or some of them, their kids, they aren't able to buy the kids their Christmas presents that they want. Or like, I don't like, I'm not sure what the needs are, but I have a feeling if you listen, or you might already have some ideas of like, have you heard about things that would brighten their lives, or that they're struggling with beyond just the dialysis. You can submit to do, for us to fund something like that, or fund I don't know, a pizza day at her, like any number of things. Not the healthiest choice.
That's okay.
I'm trying to like give some ideas. I would love for some of the staff to give some ideas as well, of just because I have the same thing. My brain goes, because there's so, when I've been doing this job for so long, I'm like, one of the most miraculous things is how many ways there are to get involved. But it's totally overwhelming, because I'm like, I can't spit out 10 things at once. But it's definitely like, once you get, the great thing is once you get started, it becomes easier and easier. And also it's addictive because it feels so darn good. I think there's nothing that feels better than seeing someone else brighten up, or their lives go better, and to know you are a part of that.
I know that they struggle a lot with like loneliness, because I deal with a lot of elderly patients. The thing is, we pretty much are working virtually with them because I'm basically the person that makes sure that they get their medication and all of that kind of stuff. So I try to stay on the phone as long as I can with them, but then also the business is like, get to work, get to the next one. But I'm just thinking, like, I want to do something for these people, and I love elderly people. I can't begin. So I'm always even thinking something at like a senior citizen home, like what kind of things do you guys do there? Because that I know would be like my first motivation would be to help the elderly. Is what kind of things did you guys do? Or sorry, I'm asking too many questions, or is this okay?
Okay. Good. I will let you know if we're getting to, I am gonna, keep us moving, but you're good for now.
I think also you're asking very universal questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the kind of things we're all trying to analyze, is figure out what are, especially there's often really targeted things that really will uplift people. And loneliness is something that I think so much of the population, like so much of our civilization period, a world period, everyone's going through. And that's part of why we're doing this, and what we want to figure out how to combat. So, as we all brainstorm on this stuff, I think it's going to be helpful to everyone who, in this day and age, is how do we reach out to each other? How do we lift each other up? How do we pull each other through? I think that's a universal ask.
All right.
Definitely. And we have
Thanks, guys.
some really great ideas in the chat too, if you want to scroll through those and take a look at them, because we have some of our supporters here sharing really, really great ideas for you. But I, for real, again, universal questions, kindness is my only thing is that I want to add is doing acts of kindness. The smaller things are just as important as the bigger things. People really, really connect with small acts of kindness in addition to the larger acts. So comfort and kindness comes in both large and small doses, but they are equally as important. So don't stress yourself out thinking that you have to do something huge for them. Smaller things do count, and people do connect with that deeply.
I have one more thing to say, and
I
then go ahead, Rachel.
You can say your one more
Go
thing.
ahead.
One idea I was having is like, if you wanted to just have the people you're working with have little care packets made of just things that might be comforting while they're going through their dialysis, a blanket or whatever, like those type of just small gestures, but especially for people who aren't feeling seen and cared about, having something like that show up at their door can mean the world. So that's all I was going to pass.
I like that idea because I actually I work in Saskatchewan and Regina, so I have clinics, just a couple of clinics that I'm working with, so like over 200 patients, but I know them, so I could just do like individual kind of unique packages. That's a really great idea.
I think that would be extra special, especially if you know, like, then that person loves purple, and so you know to reach out and let them feel seen.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. All right, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that.
Was there something? Did I skip over your one more thing?
Yeah, it's just a little thing. I find that even being out at like the grocery store or going shopping, just to compliment somebody, you could see the look, like it's almost like they just glow. And when I get compliments, I mean, I blush and I'm nervous, but in the end, it is an amazing feeling. And it's amazing feeling when you compliment somebody else and you could see how happy that made them. It's a little bit random, but I don't think I've ever complimented somebody and they were mad. Like they just, it pretty much makes their day. And you know that they go throughout that day saying, wow, she really liked my shirt or my necklace or whatever. So even the little things I completely understand can mean the world to somebody. They could be having a horrible day and you give them that compliment and it could just uplift them. So I do appreciate you guys' help on this, because that care package idea, I really like that.
Of course. And I don't mean to cut you short, but we are going to move on to our next person. I want to keep it going, but I appreciate your conversation. And it was really, yes, thank you for coming in, and your energy is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's really nice to meet all of you guys.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you too. All right. My promoter, can you go ahead and allow Steph to get back to watching and promote our next person, please?
I was going to say, on those little things, one of the ones that really gets me that can totally make my day is when someone holds open a door, because I'm in a wheelchair. When someone lets the door close versus when they hold it open can make or break my entire day. And it seems like such a small thing, but it's the biggest thing in my world.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Sarah.
Hi from Germany.
Oh,
I
love your shirt.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you because I did a random act of kindness like 3 months ago for my best friend. She has a really tough time because she's diagnosed with PTBS and she lost her job because of it and has a service dog, and she couldn't pay her bills for the groceries. And so I reached out to you guys, and I got found it, and we make a big deal of it. My friend went to her because I'm in Germany, she's in Switzerland, so it's not really easy to help. And we bought some amazing stuff for her.
I remember your story.
Thank you.
We do, just so you know as well, part of your act of kindness too, when you do these things, is all of us on the staff and so many supporters get to see this too. And I don't know, I know for me, it's what keeps me going, is every time I see a story like that story and I go, wow, that kindness exists in the world, and it gives me joy. And to know that your friend was happy, and to see that effect happening in the world, that is actually an outgrowth. That's a continuation of that one act. So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
thank you for helping. It's like I knew Random Acts like for the 10 years on my t-shirt. I think I knew you guys because it started with Misha and went with Gish. And I fundraised a lot of money for Random Acts because I believed in you, but I never thought about doing stuff or funding stuff myself, because I'm more of like, okay, do it myself and I will keep all the stuff going. And to see that I get stuff going for my friends with your help, it was so amazing.
That's why I said it's addictive, right? I think it's hard for
Yeah.
all of us to do that. A lot of us are kind of trained into that. Just do it yourself. Don't ask for help, or don't, you know, just, I don't know. There's a stigma on that, or a fear of it. And once you get over it, it really is addictive to be part of, because it's all of us, as you said, it feels so good, all of us coming together to make these things happen. And also I want to say, you know, there is I really have to be grateful too. There are so many people that are on our staff from Germany. We've got incredible regional rep group. We've got multiple staff members. They've got their own like German WhatsApp group, and it's really, I really have to be grateful to like so many of you in Germany who are wonderful supporters, and really beyond supporters, just part of this vibrant family.
Yeah. I met Ria in May, I think, and I gave her the big check for Random Acts. And
It's you.
yeah,
Right. Oh my goodness. Thank you. You're incredible. Seriously.
you are incredible.
Thank you so much. And just like
amazing.
you brought us so much joy, because that as well, like I don't know why I wasn't putting that together. Like we were just over the moon for that. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I'm always happy. And that what Steph's said before, the compliment stuff, it's like what I started when COVID started, because there was no such joy in the world. And then I said to someone, you have a nice t-shirt, you have a nice dress. And first I look like, okay, but it's amazing to do small stuff to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's never small. It ripples out so much, because then that person walks away and they might do the same thing for the next person. You never know how profoundly it's going to change someone. There was even an article in the New York Times recently that was about how just human beings, there's been, per studies and stuff, we tend to underestimate how impactful our acts of kindness are. That, you know, maybe it's we trying to be humble or whatever, but it really, these things ripple out in amazing ways. So it's really important to remember your power in every moment to make someone's life better. And yeah, you certainly have made our lives better. So thank you.
I was great. It's happened because our first plan was to give it to Misha at the convention, and then he got COVID on the way to Germany. So yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's still, he saw it and we all saw it, and it meant so much. So
Yeah, Ria and we freaked out when he posted our picture online. We're like, oh my God.
wanted you to know that we all still were seeing it and caring and excited, and COVID aside, we all feel the excitement. As I said, we have to find all different ways of connecting now, but let's keep connecting. It's more important than ever.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. We are going to move on to our next person, but we appreciate you, and thank you so much for all of the work that you've done.
And I just want to say thank you so much, Nikki, for interpreting all this. It means so much to see you as well, and to know that more people can communicate with us because of
Yeah. All right. My promoter, can you go ahead and get us our next person? Wonderful. On top of it. Don't even need to bother.
Oh my God.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so freaked out. Oh, here's my little buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, you're wearing ghosts too. You're ready for Halloween. I'm ready for Halloween too.
Oh, he's my
Yeah.
shadow, so I can't not.
Halloween.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Look, pumpkin.
I got pumpkins. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, you're fine.
It's not just you, it's the whole staff. We have to, when the kids join in, we just get distracted for a little bit.
Yep.
It's so
That's
good
fine.
to see you. I back to you. I love your hair. That's
Thank you.
awesome. That's such
Thank
a
you.
cool.
Oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm talking to you. That's so cool. Anyway,
Yes.
I like to do sneaky stuff, but does that count as like a random act? Like my random act I did for I did one for Gish. Hi. I did one for Gish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, it was the I made bereavement blankets.
Oh wow. Yeah, absolutely. That's
The
beautiful.
little sets with the hats and stuff. But like I didn't know if like we have one of those little libraries at our park, one of those little free library things. Would stocking those with like I know. Would stocking those with like LGBT friendly books?
There's actually there's a couple people have done that act, and it's I love it. It brightens my day every time I see it. It's a really good one.
I didn't know that would be like an act of kindness, because it's kind of just like dropping it and running away.
Yeah, but we can also what we've done before is we funded buying of diverse books to put in the library.
Right.
If you want to do that.
Okay.
That's definitely an act other people have done, and it's a beautiful one. It's a nice way of spreading some good in the world, spreading some tolerance, spreading some inclusiveness.
Right.
You never know who that's going to reach. So that's a good act. I love that.
Yeah, I just didn't know, like, I guess I waffle over what counts as an act. Because I'm a nurse aide. I work in hospitals and nursing homes. And I work with a lot of confused patients, and sometimes the facilities don't have resources for them. Like, I had the idea that, you know what pop sockets are?
Yeah.
Like, me and my son have ADHD, and they're just nice to fiddle. I'm like, those would be perfect for my confused elderly patients who, you know, they just need something to fiddle sometimes.
Right.
So I didn't know if like funding for getting some of those for a facility.
Arts department, like we've got a group of people that we're just excited about doing acts in the world. So never worry about submitting something. If it doesn't, we try to put the criteria really clearly up. But if you like submit something that doesn't fit the criteria, the acts department is happy to go back and forth with you and say, this is why, this is how you need to shift it in order to put the criteria, because we just want to help and we just want to put the good out there, and we will take all of your ideas. That sounds to me, I don't want to say like, yes, we're sure, because I haven't looked through and vetted, but that sounds like the kind of thing that is a wonderful act. One of the beautiful things about random acts is because we have people coming from such different experiences and different communities, rather than telling people what kindness should look like for them in their area and their community, for the people they're dealing with, it's like, no, let's actually keep learning from each other and growing and getting this the game of doing good in the world right by listening. And so I'm really excited by every act that is informed by, hey, this is what I'm seeing in my daily life. This is what the people that I'm working with I'm seeing where their needs are, and how do I meet that? I think that's really the way we can do the most good in the world. And you're going to be more of an expert on your world and the community you're working with and whatever than I am every time. So I'd much rather listen to you and find out what the needs are. Other
Right.
than criteria wise, we sometimes have like, oh, there's this legal thing we have to watch out for, or we have to get a receipt at this time, or there's like little technical
Right.
things that have just been learned across time by our team of like, oh, well, that didn't work, or we need to have our paperwork filed this way, or whatever it is. So but we try really hard to be in communication and contact with you all. So it should never be a barrier to submitting, to trying again. And let's see how we can all just put as much good out there as possible.
Yeah. When I did the book thing for Gish, I was like, they just sent me money. That's crazy. Like it was really easy.
Nice.
Like I just, filled out the form and it was, it was good.
I love
So-
that. And spread the word, because honestly, the funniest thing about doing this job is just how, funny, but not funny, haha, because it's also kind of sad, is how much people just don't believe or fully trust that, like, no, you're just giving me money to do good. Like there's
Yeah.
suspicion. I remember there was a Gish Act a couple of years ago, where I don't know if you were doing Gish at this time, but there was like a giveaway. Like we went out, we were just literally going out and giving away items of just like, instead of a yard sale, just a giveaway sale.
Okay.
We did that. Went to my fellow Gishers in New York. We went out and we were doing this, and people literally sometimes ran away because they were so sure there was like a catch.
Oh.
Or they'd come by like 6 or 7 times and just kept coming by and looking and be like, I like that thing, but what do I have to do to get it? We're like, no, you can take it.
I've done that. I think I tagged Random Acts because I was inspired by you guys. It was like, I think it was last year I was in Georgia, and they have a very big homeless population, like in the city. Just driving around, I saw so many camps, and we just were like, let's take $100 and go into the dollar store and see what we can get. So we got like hand sanitizer and masks and snacks and socks, because I read that they need socks a lot, and underwear, and we just made these care packages. We made like 20 and just passed them out. And some homeless people were like, is there a catch? Is this money? And I was like, no, I feel like I have so much in the face of all of this.
Yeah.
And it's cold outside and it's COVID and it sucks. So just,
That's beautiful. I love that. And we just I think we need to be out there doing that enough that we start to change people's view of the world. So it becomes actually something that people will accept. It's like, no, there are just people who just walk around in the world wanting to do good because it feels good to do good, and we want to support each other and like make the world a nicer place. That's it.
Yeah, it broke my heart at the first thing, like tentative, like, do you want something from me? Like, no, I just want to help.
Yeah, but that's why we need to be out there doing what we're doing.
Definitely.
I appreciate it so much. I'm so glad you're doing those things, and I'm excited. Like, submit more acts, and let's like keep it up. And thank you for doing the work you're doing.
Definitely.
Well, thank you guys for doing it all and running it,
and thank you for introducing us to our young recruit.
He's emptying my sock drawer, or I would show him.
Yeah, so definitely, if you do have any questions about any ACTS proposals, anything like that, you can email acts@randomacts.org and they can help you out. We do have our chat moderators have been placing the links to our ACTS application form throughout the chat. So we do have that there. If you have any questions, feel free to email them. They're super happy to help. All of us are. All of that. I am going to move us on to our next person, but it was so lovely to talk to you, Kelsey. And again,
you too.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Bye.
Bye. My promoter. There we go.
And Maddie, I don't know what I would do without you. I'm like, no, like I'll say all the like kind of genuine or general kind of whatever mushy when, and then Maddie will make it sound smart. Understandable.
Where did our person go? Let's see. All right, if they don't show up, let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. So we have a question from Angela in the Q&A who says, how do you decide what act to support? Are they all related to world events or just something close to the heart? I guess this is about our bigger projects, I think, are the ones that we're taking on as a group project. So how do we decide what acts we want to support?
Well, it's a combination of things. Sometimes there's something going on in the world where a lot of people need help. Because we're lucky enough, there's, Random X staff, there's over 150 people from all over the world. So we have a lot of people that are paying attention to the needs in their community, etc. And they'll bring up different ideas. So we're never, there's so many beautiful ways to get involved, and we're lucky enough to be introduced and just see where we can create the most impact. That definitely factors in, and where the most need is. One of the things with Random X is, we aren't tackling some of these huge issues wholly, in that we're not like a refugee-based organization. So we're often looking for the people who fall through the cracks of the other system, and how can we bring light to those stories and help those people that maybe aren't being helped within the systems that do exist. Anyway, I think I see our next
Yes.
person. Yes.
Hello, I love your background.
Hi.
Amazing. Pumpkins.
It's Halloween time. So hello from California. It's a pleasure to be here and meet everybody. Thank you. So I'm still fairly new to Random Acts. I just found out about this organization back in January, and I loved it so much I started becoming a monthly donor because you guys are awesome. And I love the idea of just giving money to people to go do good in their community. That's just, you
Thank
get to
you so
choose
much.
what you do with it. And that's amazing.
That's amazing of you. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I just want to make sure that you're acknowledged. Thank you. That means so much.
I have two questions. So because I do a monthly donation, I also want to have my employer do matching gifts. But for some reason, Random Acts isn't one of them, an organization that's eligible to match my donation. Do you know how we go about getting that set up through an employer? Is that something Random Acts has any involvement in, or is that just something strictly through my employer?
I don't know for sure, but I know it's something we've looked into, that there are different different staff members have done it. I don't know, I would love to know, and you're welcome to send in a question to our teams to check it out. I don't know with your employer whether they are working off of some other approval system. I know we have like GuideStar and whatever, there's all different systems that you can be approved within. And maybe they have one that they're working with that we don't know about, or maybe your employer specifically, has certain organizations they've already vetted. And I would love to know if like our partnerships department stuff I'm sure they could dig their teeth into if there's anything that we need to submit to make that possible. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah. I just got my scheme on here says that go ahead and email fundraising@randomax.org and they will look into it, see what's going on, see if we can figure that out for you. So send them an email. We'll help you out.
Because that's amazing. You're basically saying, how can I help you more? And
I want to give you more money.
That's a problem that I'm willing to help with.
Yeah.
Great, awesome. So I will go ahead and do that. My second question, so I was reading the rules about acts of kindness, and one of them says something about you can't do a combination of like, you can't give to another charity. So my question is, I'm going to be joining one of my friends during the holiday season to help bring some supplies to the people in Skid Row in Los Angeles. I don't know if anyone's familiar or have heard of that area of Los Angeles, but it's a very, very bad area with lots and lots of homeless people. And they need a lot of help, but it's going to be through a different organization. I would also like to submit a proposal to be able to buy supplies separately, but still go with that organization to be able to deliver things to the homeless people. Is that something that's allowed with Random Acts, or is?
I would definitely submit that, because as far as I know, I'm in tricky territory, because I'm like, I don't want to mess with the Acts department if there's something I'm missing. But as far as I know, we do, because we certainly have done many acts that I'm aware of that work with other organizations. What we try not to do is do a direct, like, we're just donate to us and we're going to just funnel the money directly to another organization, because what would be the point? To me, like, at that point, that's unnecessary. Why not donate directly to another organization? But on the other hand, we have partnerships and projects and acts where we're working with another organization to do a specific thing where we're adding value, and there's obviously a reason Random Acts is involved, and at that point it absolutely makes sense to do it. So I don't think that there's a strict ban on ever working with other organizations. It's just a matter of, we don't just do an act where it's like, I want to donate for $50 to X organization. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. So money not to go to another charity, but if you're working with another charity and you're just basically helping to contribute to the problem or the solution.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. That
So
actually clarifies that quite a bit.
Yeah, if there's a specific action that you're achieving while working with this other charity, we have no problem with that. It's just a matter of, because otherwise people could submit 1,000 acts of, I want to donate to the UN, and I want to donate to refugee organization, whatever, and I want a $50 act that goes to, and it's like, well, why not just donate directly to them? At that point, it feels dishonest. It feels like we're just taking money for tax purposes and funneling it back to other organizations. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. Yes.
I'm excited by this act. It's a beautiful thing. I definitely am very familiar with Skid Row. It's something that's really needed. It reminds me, we have a staff member who did a wonderful act a while back in California, in their area in California. There was a big population of people experiencing homelessness, and there was disease going around, hepatitis being passed around. There was no restroom facilities or place for them to wash, and someone had tried putting out like some porta potties. They were trying different solutions, but then of course the city council didn't like that, and this person worked with another organization, and that we funded that organization to buy a flatbed truck. And they had a tiny house on the flatbed truck that had bathroom facilities and showers and things like that. And they would drive it in so that people could shower and stuff, and then they drive it out so that none of the neighborhood could complain. I just, like, it was one of those really ingenious ways of doing some good and handling an immediate problem.
That's amazing. Yeah, so the homeless problem has become a real serious problem here in California, especially after the pandemic. I live in Anaheim.
Markets went up so much that a lot of people got priced out. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Anaheim. I live near Disneyland, and you see just the homeless people sleeping outside of Disneyland, and it's really sad, and it breaks my heart, and I want to be able to help people.
I love that. It's beautiful. Yeah. I can't wait. I mean, I think obviously there's so much we need to do on so many fronts in order to change that, so it's no longer a problem and people aren't suffering in that way. But in the meantime, there's so many ways that we can help pull people through. I know one of the things that I learned from one of the organizations we were partnering with when we were doing a convention at one point was to call, rather than calling people homeless people, to say people experiencing homelessness. And it seems like such a little shift, but it really is a wonderful mental shift from my point of view, because it brings home the concept that any of us can experience this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
for sure.
also come through. And it's just, I love that connection. And that's so much of my belief with the work that we're doing too, is like, let's support each other. And it's not, I'm wonderful, I'm out there helping and saving people. It's like, no, sometimes I'll need the help, sometimes you'll need the help, but let's create this community where it's second nature to support each other when we can.
Definitely. Thank you
Yes.
very much for speaking with us, and thank you for
Seriously.
being a recurring donor. We really appreciate it.
100%, especially someone who just heard about it, especially since you've only known about the organization a short time, that just like you have no idea the effect that you've created on all of us and how good you've made us feel and keep us going. As a volunteer organization, we run on morale. That is our pay. So every time that we get to meet, you know, someone like you or you, and it just lifts our whole day up. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I really love this organization. I mean, I found it through Misha, but I just fell in love with the organization itself. I mean, this is such a great thing. And you guys are just amazing people. Anyone that goes out and does an act of kindness is you're just all amazing. So thank you.
Oh, right
Makes the
back
money
at
worth
you.
it.
Right
Exactly.
back at you. And thank you.
All right, thank you for speaking with us. My promoter, can we go ahead and we're going to get to a couple of the questions in the Q&A, because I know we're coming up on the hour. I want to get to some of those because we have some really good questions in here. So I'm going to go on. Actually, this first one is great, because we were just discussing this in our tech chat here, is that someone is saying that they would like to become a volunteer worker. They submitted an application. What can you do? So if you've submitted an application for a vacancy, but didn't hear back or were turned away for that position, please don't be discouraged from applying to other positions. It may be that we just found other candidates who fit that, and they were the people that we went with. It absolutely does not mean that you cannot submit to other vacancies. Our chat moderator just did drop our vacancy page in the chat, so you can see what our open positions are and what we need from you guys, all of that. Please don't ever be discouraged from trying out new things here at Random X. I mean, this is the first event that I've ever run, and it's all thanks to Random X. I had never done this before, and this is the first time I've done it, and it's all thanks to getting to work in a different position. You know, they will help you get that experience. So don't be discouraged if you don't have experience in a certain area, this and that. If you feel like you want to go for something, go for it. We are a place to grow is what I feel Random X is. We are a place to grow and nurture and learn different skills. So
I love that. I love that. By the way, can I just randomly answer something in the chat too?
yes.
I saw a specific one that I know the answer to, and I want to. It's just someone was wondering about what happened with Class Act and whether it's going to happen again. It's not happening. And here's the thing: we loved Class Act. We want to help teachers in as many ways as possible. So please. Also feel free to reach out and give us ideas on how we can better support teachers and help you teach kindness to your students. We want to continue doing that. The Class Act program never really took off. We think because it was such a heavy lift on all of you teachers who are already working so hard. And so we're trying to come up with other ideas of programs that maybe ask less of our teachers, because you're already way overextending and overworking to do good in the world. But we do want to continue to find ways to help inspire kids to get involved with acts of kindness. And we also want to find ways to support and uplift you all as teachers. So please know that. That's all. I just wanted to address that because it's something that we had to talk about so much and was so dear to so many of our hearts. It was hard to let go.
Yeah.
but it really was something that we never got the enthusiasm that we were hoping. So
Definitely. Let's see, let's go on to our next one. Megan says that they've been a nurse for 12 years, have worked in emergency, critical care, and emergent stroke intervention. Question is, I would love to apply what I know to my community to do free blood pressure screenings for low income, homeless, and higher risk populations. How do I go about this? I have so many ideas, but implementing them is so incredibly huge and scary, but I want to help. I have this gift and knowledge of nursing, and I just want to help. That's a really great question. And thank you for the work that you do, Megan.
yeah, one, I just want to say thank you so much for the work you're doing. And also how amazing is like the percentage of people who either work, who are on staff at Random Acts or are supporters or a part of, I hate even saying supporter, it's like a part of this Random Acts family out there doing good. How many of you are also doing amazing things with your jobs in the, you know, caring fields that you're working in, the teachers and nurses, and like, I don't know, you keep the world going. So so thank you. In terms of an act that was specifically to do with medical type procedures or whatever, we probably can't fund it legally. You're welcome to submit and find out, but likely, you know, we're lucky we have a wonderful on staff lawyer too who can look at these things. That doesn't sound like that sounds like something that would be very tricky territory, because very quickly we could get in liability trouble, because we're not medically licensed or whatever, so we have to be really careful about that territory. There are lots of ways that we can help. We love doing acts for nurses and caregivers and people in the caring community. There have been many wonderful inventive acts that people have done, but it usually doesn't involve actually going out, and we don't provide any kind of medical assistance. That said, there are always creative ways that we can again support you or your community that aren't directly to do with giving people medical care. And on the other hand, if there's an idea you have that of how to do good in the world, just because you can't do it through Random Acts does not mean you cannot do it. And we certainly are happy to champion and support and cheer you on. And my dream for this group is that we just encourage each other to keep doing good. You do not have to do good through us. So if you want to start your own charity, or you find another charity that can support you in doing this, or you just, you know, want to get a group of nurses together, and any ideas that you have, I champion you to do that. Let's just all just keep encouraging each other and lifting each other up and inspiring each other to do good in the world. That is the purpose of why we're here. So yeah.
Yeah, and there are organizations that do things exactly like this. It just doesn't happen to be one of the things in our wheelhouse. I can't name them off of the top of my head, but I do know that there are some organizations who do specialize in having nurses volunteer for them, volunteer their time to go out and help people who may not have been able to afford help otherwise. So definitely check out, do a Google search, figure out what's around you. Again, someone in the chat said American Heart Association or Red Cross programs. I think they do offer a couple of things like that. But yeah, and again, appreciate the work that you do, Megan. I see you in the chat here. And really, I'm glad that you want to get out and do exactly that, because that is it's definitely needed. Definitely needed. All right, let's see. Jennifer says, so could we apply for a grant to help a couple of families for the holidays?
Well, absolutely. That has been done. Many people have done those kind of holiday acts. I love seeing refugee families and neighbors in need, and etc. There are so many ways that we can do good. So feel free to submit that act. If there's any way that doesn't fit the act criteria, again, the acts department will be happy to walk you through that or tell you what does or doesn't work, and help point you to how to better help people through our program.
Yeah, and our chat moderators have been sharing the links to our kindness stories. So if one of you guys could just drop that link in the chat again, that has a whole list of blog posts about our different acts that we've done. So you can take inspiration from the things that people have already done. You can, there we go, perfect. You can figure out what works for you, what works best for your community, all of that. Just like Rachel said earlier, and some of our speakers have said, is that one of the best things about Random Acts is that you get to kind of do exactly what fits you and what your community needs. So definitely check out our kindness stories. We do have a lot of holiday acts on there, and we tweet out a bunch of our holiday stories as well. So just keep an eye on those as well. We are coming up on the hour, so I want to do a very, very short, if anyone wants to do a last call, we can, but we are getting pretty close on time. So if anyone has any questions in the Q&A chat that they want to leave, that will probably be faster. We'll get to those a little bit quicker. But other than that, thank you all so much for joining us today. If, again, like I said earlier, if you did not get the chance to speak, please don't hesitate to tweet or tag us in a video of you sharing your kindness stories, because we do want to hear from all of you. Again, we wish we could talk to you for hours and hours about all of your stories, but go ahead and tweet and tag us, and we will retweet and share and respond to as many of them as we can. And we want to hear your stories. We really do. So one of the things I do want to ask you guys to do before we get off of here is to think about someone in your community who could be helped with an act of kindness, and then think about what you can do to make it happen, because big or small, all of those acts do matter to people who are receiving them. So we hope that you'll submit a proposal so we can support you in bringing your idea to action. That is exactly what we are looking for here, looking to get the word out, to make sure that all of you guys know that we are here to support you guys doing acts of kindness in your community. The very thing that moves your guys' hearts is going to move us too. Thank you again for all of your support, for your donations, for sharing of our fundraising information, and for being here today with us. This has been amazing, and I am so grateful to all of you guys for joining.
Maddie, I don't know if you're reading the chat. There are so many beautiful comments from you all, and it means the world. And you definitely lifted our spirits. So thank you so much. And thank you everyone who joined today. This was really wonderful. I hope we do this again.
I think we will. I think it seems like everyone, I think you guys, are going to tell us if you want us to do it again, but I'm so grateful to you guys, you all. Thank you for your comments in the chat. It's amazing. I'm so excited that you all are excited. Someone said, yes, please, again. Love it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign us off here. But again, thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to seeing you guys all over our social media. Again, we will engage with you all as much as we possibly can. And I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day.
Beautiful.
Bye, everyone.